Hi everyone, I'm Tim Bonnin, Project Manager of Design and Development with Walton Hills Park and Rec District. We're excited about a new park on Southwest Baker Loop in Lombard. You're about to see a presentation on the new park, but before that, let's take a quick peek of the site.
All right, everyone, I think we'll go ahead and get started. So I first just want to say hello and welcome everyone. We're so glad you're here and joining us today. Our team is very excited to share about this new park project through this presentation this evening. Then after our presentation, we will leave some time for questions from any of our community members who are joining us. But first, we'd like to take a moment to introduce our team. My name is Liana, and I work with THPRD in community engagement. I'll be co-facilitating this meeting with my colleagues, Jaspreet and Tim. Jaspreet and Tim, would you like to introduce yourselves?
Thanks, Liana. Good evening, everyone. Welcome. My name is Jaspreet Chahal. I'm also part of the community engagement team at THPRD. And now I would like to invite the project manager for a quick introduction.
Thank you. Hello, everyone. I'm Tim Bonnin of Design Development. I am the Senior Park Planner, and I will be the project manager for this project.
Thanks, Jaspreet. Thanks, Tim. I also want to take a moment to thank Lulu Ballesteros, who on our team, who is translating this meeting live in Spanish as we speak. Thank you, Lulu, for all your hard work. And I also want to take a moment to acknowledge all the community members who are joining us, whether that's in this moment right now or later on YouTube. We're looking forward to hearing your input today and as we move forward through this project over the coming months. I'd also like to take a moment to let you know that we are recording this meeting, and we're recording it to share it on our webpage to provide anyone who's visiting that webpage with an avenue to learn more about this project. And then last thing before we get started, we will be sharing a PowerPoint presentation to provide you with an overview of the park project. Then I will announce time for questions, comments, and discussion with our attending community members. And at that time, we'll welcome you to add those questions or comments you have in the chat. So what I'm going to do now is turn it over to my colleague, Jaspreet, and she's going to get us started on tonight's presentation.
Thanks, Liana. Liana, could I get a visual thumbs up if you can see? Okay, perfect. So it looks like we all can see Tim's screen. We wanted to kick things off with and provide you a short background on the district's community visioning work. So this has always been a diverse community, and at THPRD, it's important to us that we meet its diverse needs. We value community feedback as we strive to be leaders in innovation and offer better park and recreation services for all. To that end, in 2018-2020, THPRD began an intentional and inclusive effort to create a long-term guiding vision for our work. Embedded within this recognition was the need to understand the current and long-term interests of those we serve and who make this region their home. And every step of this project was co-produced, and community engagement was led by 13 community volunteers, known as the Visioning Task Force. The Visioning Task Force, 13 members, they came from different geographic areas of the district, multilingual, ability to speak in 7 languages, multi-generational. We had 2 youth volunteers, and in 5 months, their efforts helped connect with nearly 10,500 people, more than 12,500 ideas collected at 117 diverse engagement opportunities, including connecting with youth at 9 Beaverton School District schools and focus groups in 3 languages with communities of color and members of the immigrant and refugee communities. The information collected and the ideas all came together to become part of the Vision Action Plan, which was formally adopted by the Board of Directors in September 2020. Next slide, please. On slide 3, we wanted to show you how the thousands of community ideas and aspirations are now coalesced around 4 overarching goal areas. The first one is welcoming and inclusive. It has ideas centered on building community, expanding the role of THPRD in people's lives. Next, we have play for everyone, ways that people want to play, move, and interact with THPRD, including participation in classes, activities, exercise and sports, play in creative parks and playgrounds with imaginative new features. Accessible and safe is third. Overall, it concerns with overall maintenance of facilities and equipment, and the ability of all THPRD residents and community members to safely access their THPRD amenities. And lastly, we have preserving natural spaces, and this goal area has ideas that envision opportunities for people to be in and enjoy nature. Next slide, please. Over the next few slides, we wanted to share the themes under each goal area and how these relate to this particular project. In welcoming and inclusive, these are some of the things that people said are important. Host events and activities that bring people together, ensure that all parks and facilities are welcoming, promote the district and its services to a diverse audience, continue to build partnerships and community relations, and finally, bring people together through food. Next slide, please. In play for everyone, we have continued to encourage exercise, offer a mix of playground designs, provide space for community groups, accessible play areas for people with disabilities, and provide classes and activities for all ages, interests, and abilities. Next, we've got accessible and safe, and these are some of the things that are applicable to this project. Provide more seating and shade in parks, keep parks and facilities safe, provide accessibility to all parks, facilities, and spaces, a user-friendly registration and reservation system, make it easier to get to and find parks, and continue to maintain parks and facilities. Next, we have preserving natural spaces, and these are some of the things that people said were important. Preserve and expand natural areas, provide opportunities for people to connect with nature, for THPRD to be a leader in responding to climate change, provide more and preserve existing green spaces, integrate Indigenous cultural practices, and opportunities to recreate and learn about plants and nature. And finally, if you'd like to learn more about this, the work or read the plan itself, you can visit the link at the bottom of the screen or go to thprd.org for more. And thank you, Liana. Liana's also added the link in the chat box. Finally, now we're going to hear more from Tim Bonnin about how the district is bringing community ideas to life and using public input to inform this upcoming neighborhood parks design. Tim?
Thank you, Jaspreet. So I'd like to talk a little bit about your new neighborhood park located on Southwest Baker Loop and Lombard. In this illustration in front of you, the square in the center is the location of the park, and the concentric rings represent the walking distance to the park in the half-mile increments. So from the park to walk a half mile, it takes somewhere between 7 to 10 minutes. And if you were to walk a mile from the park, it would take you anywhere from 15 to 20 minutes. And as you can see on this graphic, there are school sites within the 1 mile radius, as well as a lot of the green space. Those are either parks or open space. And within a half mile radius, we're close to Vos Elementary School, places of worship, a community garden, as well as the Allen District, the Allen Boulevard District, which is just north of the site, which has shops and restaurants that are just within a couple minutes from the site. This is an aerial map of the site. And so what you see here is the future park location, and the park is 2 acres in size. So it's right off Lombard and Baker Loop. And then just south of the site on Baker Loop is a new development. It's a single family development that's just about complete with maybe 8 to 10 homes on it. And then the site itself, you can see, is surrounded by mature trees that provide a lot of shade on the site. But hopefully you can pick it out. You can see the house in the center, and there's actually a lot of pockets of open space around the house as well that will provide plenty of opportunity for us to design, for you to help us design a great neighborhood park. So now I'd just like to show you a few photos from the street view. So here we are on Baker Loop in that new development that I mentioned. Even in this photo, just to the right where there's the open grass area, the final house has been built and the sidewalk is now complete, which there's sidewalks on each side of the street, and you can see there's a barricade just ahead. This is the south side of our site. And when we develop the site, we're going to be required to add a terminus to this road, which means we'll have a small cul-de-sac or maybe some type of T turnaround on the site. And that's going to allow service providers to turn around when they enter Baker Loop. So sanitation service, fire, even police, to have somewhere to turn around at the south end of the site. In this next photo on the left, this is standing on Lombard looking north. You can see there'll be parking, there's street parking along Lombard already. Also, there are bike lanes on both sides of the street, as well as sidewalks. And in the photo to the right, again on Lombard looking south, you can see the site just to the right. This is the main driveway leading in to the site. And as you enter the driveway, you can see the house further down in the photo. And as you walk around the site following the loop driveway, there's the house itself. And we will be removing this house this summer. And as you can see in this photo, it takes up quite a bit of space. So again, we'll have maybe an acre or more than an acre of open space outside the tree canopies for design opportunities for recreation. And again, just a few more site photos, and this one here just to show you some of those pockets beneath the trees that on a sunny day, there's plenty of sunshine entering the site. So again, plays for space for open recreation, community gatherings, those sorts of things. And again, we're going to be sensitive to the trees as well, because we do have this, again, row of trees that surround the site, but there are opportunities for us to incorporate activities around or close to the trees and sort of be able to enjoy the shade of the trees as well. So next I'll talk a little bit about the timeline. So right now it is winter, summer 2021, which we're in the community engagement on park themes and amenities to create a concept. This also, of course, it includes tonight's meeting as well as several workshops coming out, and then the final concept plan that we'll present to the community sometime this summer. The next phase is in the center, which once we get the community, the concept plan approved this summer, we'll move into what we call the permitting phase. So our consultant will put the plans together for us that we'll take into land use and go through what's called land use approval for the project, and then develop the construction documents for permitting. And as you can see, that will take us about a year into fall 2022. And once all those documents are complete, we'll begin the bidding process, which will start in January, February in 20 to 23. So we'll put the project out to bid for contractors. We'll review the bids. We'll make a recommendation to the board. Once the board approves the contractor for the project, we'll begin construction. And typically, we'll start construction around in June. And a park this size takes 3 to 4 months to complete. So next, I will have Liana jump in, and she's going to talk a little bit more about the community engagement process.
All right. Hello again, everyone. So as Tim mentioned, we will be focusing specifically on community engagement over the course of 2021 into the summer. And so we're looking at 3 phases for community engagement. And the first phase is right now, and that is to identify an overall park theme for this park project. We have a survey open right now that I would love to get your feedback on in that survey, and I'll tell you more about that in a little bit. The second phase of community engagement for this project, and Tim, you can move us forward there. Thank you. All right. So our second phase is really working with the community to workshop that park theme and the different park amenities that might go into this park. And we're going to do that through a spring celebration that's coming up, and I'll tell you about that soon. And we also will have some design workshops coming up, some opportunities to provide input there. And then our third phase of community engagement is, like, as Tim said, once we have that entire concept plan put together, we'll review that with our community members, with you all. And as we get closer to that into the fall, we'll have more information posted on the webpage. In fact, what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to add the project webpage to the chat, just so everybody has access there. All right, Tim, you can move me to the next slide. So we are going to focus right now on that identifying an overall park theme. So that's what's happening right now in community engagement. So what does that survey look like? Well, for the park theme survey, what we're looking for is we need your help to find an overall theme for this park. And a theme, it really helps inform the park's look and feel. It can also help get people really excited about visiting a park. And it can tell the story of cultural experiences, community values, and the natural environment of this area. So what are some examples? Tim, why don't you show us some examples there? These are some examples that we pulled from within our district. So we have Pirate Park. This is in the northern part of our district, and it has a pirate-themed play area. We also have Pioneer Park, which has more of a nature theme. You can tell by the frog sculpture here. And then we have another example at Vista Brook Park. And this is a choo-choo train play feature. So these are just some examples of some parks you may have visited. But these themes can be expressed not only in play equipment, but also in the style of a park's layout, or in the artwork, or in interpretive signage, and more. So once we have a theme for this park established, then we can use that theme to tell a story about the community. And that theme will be helpful when we seek your input in the upcoming months about the park amenities, like the play areas and the picnic shelter, or whatever those amenities will look like for this park. So we're looking for a theme, most importantly, that welcomes all people, that inspires communities to come together, that uniquely reflects you and your community. So some examples could be agriculture, different kinds of plants or animals, space exploration. There are all kinds of possibilities. So this is really that fun opportunity to get creative. And if you know kids, you can get involved. We would love to hear their ideas. So we would love to see you go and fill out that survey. If you need some time to think about it, you have until May 8th. Actually, you can move to the next slide there, Tim. I've got that. Yeah. So next steps, be sure to take that survey. We would love to have your input by Sunday, May 9th. I misspoke earlier. It's Sunday, May 9th. We would love your input on that survey. And if when we're finished with this presentation, like I said, we're going to post it on the webpage. So the next thing you can do is you can share this presentation with your neighbors and friends, and you can learn more ways to get involved at the webpage, which I also put in the chat. And then finally, I want to tell you about some upcoming design workshop opportunities we have. The next one coming up, and Tim, you can move us to the next. Excellent, thank you. The next one coming up is a Spring with Family and Friends celebration. So this is going to be a super fun celebration of spring and a design workshop. It's going to be on Saturday, May 15th at 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. You can drop in anytime. It's at Vos Elementary School, and we're partnering with them to produce this event. It'll be fun activities and giveaways that are free for all ages. And it'll be a community workshop for the park theme and amenities. A great place and time to provide your input and to learn more about the project and its next stages. So with that said, I also want to mention that we'll have we'll be considering COVID pandemic safety measures at that event and any other events that we have coming up. So thank you so much for listening to our presentation. Really excited to give you this overview of the project. All right, well, I don't see any other questions that have come through the chat, so I think we'll go ahead and wrap it up. Unless there are any last words that we need to share, Tim, Jaspreet?
Nothing at this time, but we look forward to seeing you at the workshop in May.
Great. I'd just like to echo both Tim and Liana. Thanks for hanging out with us, and we'll hope to see you, if not in May, at another future workshop.
Thank you all. Have a wonderful evening. Take care.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.